So today I'm going to go through really the top 5 banks, from my opinion, for saving money in Qatar if you're an expat. So I'm going to talk about all the banks, and then I'll give you my top 5 and my reasons for my top 5. You can't start a list without starting with the Qatar National Bank, where I have my salary account, and they do have savings accounts as well. It's the biggest beast on the block. Heck, they've got 30,000 employees working there. Don't know how many people bank with them, but I'm suspecting it's well over 2 million. In terms of size, Qatar Islamic Bank comes in number 2. They have over 180 billion Qatar Rials in assets. They're the largest Sharia-compliant Islamic bank in Qatar. They also will make my top 5 list for savings, but they're a force to be reckoned with. And I used to have my salary account with them, and I was really happy with them for that. But they will also be on the top 5 list for savings accounts as well. Next, we've got Commercial Bank. I believe it's the 3rd largest bank currently in Qatar. It's not on my top 5 list for anything. A lot of people like them for different things. They used to have a good savings drawing. They have a pretty good app from what I understand. But they're not on my top 5. I know they're on the top 5 for some other people though. So anyway, that's Commercial Bank. I think it's the 3rd largest bank in the state of Qatar. Mashraf / Al Ryan have recently merged. It's the 2nd largest Islamic bank. Maybe the 4th or 5th largest bank in general, with over 125 billion Qatar Rial in assets. I don't know much about their savings schemes or anything. They're not on my top 5 list for savings, but I wanted to mention them because they are really big. Next up is Doha Bank. It's a relatively large wholesale bank and a retail bank. It's popular with the expats. It's got one of the oldest drawing accounts, the Al account. I love Doha Bank for one reason. You can use your savings account and go buy gold, which I have done at at one of their locations. You can buy gold at nearly its spot price. So all of you gold stackers like I used to be, Doha Bank's the bank for you. They've got really good prices. You could get a kilo. You could get 10 tola, which, they have all kinds of selection for gold, and it's the best prices. They also have, like I said before, the Al, so they will be on my top 5 list for savings. They'd be number 1, but there's some issues with them that I'll discuss. Next, we've got Al Khalishi Commercial Bank. Don't know much about them. They're a pretty big bank, but I don't know anybody who banks with them, and they are not on my top 5 list. So, but they got 58 billion Qatar Rial in assets. So they're next on the list is Ducan Bank. It used to be called Ducan Bank. It's owned by the same company that is paying me on my manpower. My company that I get my payroll through is owned by the same Barwa group. They're a new Islamic bank, and they are on my top 5 list, and I'll tell you why. Not just because I'm a homer, but they are on my top 5 list, and we'll get to that part as soon as I go through all the banks. Next, we've got Qatar International Islamic Bank. I used to know their CFO really well. I worked with him at Gulf Bank in Kuwait, 15 years back. Pretty big. They've got 62 billion Qatar Rial in assets. They're not on my top 5 list though. They do have some pretty cool things out there, but they don't break the top 5 for me. Next, we have Alibank, which is on my top 5 list. It's a smaller bank. It's gone through a lot of purchases and sales and repurchases. Ali means family in Arabic. It was a part of Alibank in Kuwait and in Bahrain originally. It's independent now. It is in my top 5 list, and I'll tell you why. So stand by for the top 5 list. Okay, now for the top 5. So coming in at number 5, it wasn't on my list of banks because it's a UAE bank. It's a United Arab Emirates bank, but it's Mashraf Bank. Mashraf Bank is nice because you can go in and buy certificates There's only 2 branches left here because they had closed down most of the branches during the blockade of Qatar that ended last year. But Mashref has a way where you can buy certificates. So you can buy a certificate and be in a yearly draw for $1 million Qatar Rial, over $350,000 US. So that's not bad. And it's kind of a pain because you got to go turn in the certificate if you want to get your money. So it's not like you have an ATM. So it's really a savings certificate. So I like that. I've done it before. I don't currently have it, but I have used Mashref in the past. Okay, coming in at number 4. I like this bank a lot, but they're at 4, and I'll tell you why. That would be Doha Bank. Doha Bank, I love them. They've got the first Aldana or Pearl in Arabic savings. They used to give out $1 million every year. They didn't do it last year. Don't know why. They've been relatively opaque in terms of what they're doing. Now, last Thursday, they gave out $1 million, but they didn't tell anybody in advance that they did it, really. They did some limited marketing on Qatar National Day back in December, and they still haven't announced who won. So it's kind of strange. So that's why they're coming in at number 4 rather than number 1, 2, or 3. Now, they do sell gold too at a really good price. So I love them for that. So anyway, I'm not sure what's going on with Doha Bank, but they come in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, Alibank. Why? Just you only need to put in $5,000, just like Doha Bank, to qualify to get into it. They're very convenient. They're very friendly, great customer service, and they do have monthly draws for. I think you can win $10,000 every month, like clockwork. They've been doing it since I've lived in the Middle East, since 2008. Alibank has been having these monthly draws. So, I mean, a lot of people partake in it. It's easy to get in. 5,000 is the minimum now. It used to be 1,000. So they come in at number 3. They're a convenient bank. They're a smaller bank. A lot of expats use them. So the chances of winning aren't that great, but it's a good way to save. Coming in at number 2. This is a new one, and I don't have a savings account with them, but I want to. The name is Ducan Bank. It used to be Barwa Bank. They do they own the company that pays me, so I guess I need to have them on the list. But they give out about 10 people get 10,000 Qatar Rial every week with them. So they have weekly give outs of money. And they have a high barrier to entry. You have to have 10,000 as a balance, 10,000, which is about $3,000. So it's got a high barrier, and then they've got a low customer base. So it's a small bank, and they give out a lot of money. So your chances of winning with Ducan Bank might be very good. I think they give $1 million giveaway once a year as well. So Ducan Bank, definitely, if I had some money, I would put that in. If you're an expat, Ducan Bank would be a good place to save. Now, before I get to my number 1 bank for savings for expats, I do want to say that all the banks here also have time savings accounts. In other words, you put in a bit of money and you keep it there for a year or 2, and they'll give you pretty high rates of interest, much more than you'll see in the United States. We're talking 1.5%, 2% annualized, depending on how much and for how long. They call it profit if it's a Islamic bank, but if it's a regular commercial bank, it's interest. So the banking structure here is very advanced. Again, as an American, I had to sign up FATCA everywhere I go because they report everything that I make to the U.S. Treasury. And I had to pay a lot of money to an accountant to make sure that what I report is the same as what they report, and all the forms, they're onerous. But anyway, the banking structure here is very mature, and it's a good place for expats to park their money. And now for the winner. The number 1 bank for savings, in my opinion, if you are an expat and living in Qatar, if you want to win money, if you want to save money, if you want to have your money safe, if you want to have a salary account, I'm going to go with QIB, the largest Islamic bank. I did use them for 4 years for my my payroll before. I love them for that. They've got a great mobile app, one of the best mobile apps. They've got a great platform for trading if you're into trading. And in terms of the lottery drawing, they're the best. Why? One, they require you to put in 10,000 Qatar Rial to qualify, so it's a high barrier of entry. Two, there's not a whole lot of expats who use them and get into the drawing account, so you have a fairly decent chance of winning. Three, they give out 15 different winners every week for 10,000 Qatar Rial, so they're awesome. They're number one in my book. So QIB would be the number one place, ta-da, if you want to save money in Qatar and you're an expat. Thank you.